Greetings from Christian News. Okay, so most of you have probably heard by now about the police-involved shooting of Teckle Sunberg. Interesting case. Check this out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what you're hearing in the back is a victim. So let me set this up. Black Lives Matter has converged upon this apartment complex. A mentally ill, homicidal maniac named Teckle Sunberg shot into a woman's apartment, no regard for her life or the lives of her children. There was a history between them two. He had written over her car. She had obviously told him, you know, please do not write on my car, which anybody would have said to him. But he had a mental illness. So apparently he held a grudge against her because she told him, please do not write on my car. He lived right next door to her in this apartment complex. And one day he just went off the deep end and started shooting into the apartment. Could have killed her, could have killed her children. Anyway, there was a standoff. The police came. For 6 whole hours, they tried to talk this guy down. There was no talking him down. He's no longer alive. Let's put it that way. Black Lives Matter, which is one of the most atrocious and offensive groups to ever walk the face of the earth, because they don't care anything about Black lives. What they care about is money. All you need to do is go and Google Black Lives Matter, and you will find that the head of the various heads of Black Lives Matter are all about the money grabs, buying expensive $1 million homes, taking people's money and just living the high life with people's money. So the Black Lives Matter doesn't care anything about Black people, white people, Asian people. The only thing they care about is green money. But every now and then, because they want to be on the news and because they want their faces shown, every now and then they will show up inappropriately, which they did in this case, to rally. And so the woman you hear screaming in the background is a victim. Her apartment was shot through. Her name is Isabella. Her apartment was shot through, and she's coming out to confront Black Lives Matter. And she just asked a very good question. She said, had I died out there, would you all be here protesting? And this guy lied and said yes. And you know as well as I do that they would not have been out there protesting. Now on your end, you may need to turn the volume up, and you can also, I will also post a copy of this YouTube channel, the link, because I know it's difficult to hear. But she's screaming, she's very upset, understandably so. Can you imagine you're standing in the kitchen cooking and bullets are flying through, going over your head, over the heads of your children? I can imagine that this woman was absolutely beside herself. Basically, what she's saying here is, he would have been a bad guy in your eyes, possibly, had he killed me and my children. But because he's the one who died and none of my children died, all of a sudden he's a martyr. Right now, Black Lives Matter are shook up because they're not accustomed to being approached like this and confronted by victims. And this is a very loud victim. They weren't expecting this, so they're shook up right now. Now I want you to look at this man right here. He's a part of the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z community. Okay. Now, why is he aggressively approaching this victim? And as a man, why is he aggressively approaching this woman at all? He's being held by this woman right here, who later on herself is going to aggressively jump into the face of this victim. These people are unbelievable. Do you see him being held back by this woman? Why is he aggressively approaching this little woman who looks like she's about 5'4" and 130 pounds? Why is this big old man aggressively approaching this victim who almost got her brains blown out for the crime of cooking in her apartment?
We're here just to respect life, any life, and we're glad that we're not condoning anything, but we just want full and police. We want accountability.
Now he's become the star. Now, this man did not have any bullets coming his way. He wasn't the one standing in that kitchen with his children as bullets flew through. So it's easy for him to walk around like he's some kind of a victim when the only victim there is the woman. He tried to make her another victim because he approached her very aggressively. He's very inappropriate.
We're not condoning any behavior whatsoever. We're not, if he was shooting, doing something or putting people in harm's way, we're not condoning that at all. But we're just saying we want the same treatment for us as they give white people.
Okay, did you hear this imbecile saying he wants the same treatment for black people as white people get? Is he out of his mind? They gave this man 6 hours to give himself up. His own adoptive parents, who really should have left him in Ethiopia, where he probably would have been fine. They adopted him from Ethiopia. He wouldn't even listen to his parents when they showed up. For 6 hours, the police patiently tried to work with this man. He wanted to die.
We want the same treatment for Teckle as the person that they gave in Faribault, Minnesota, that they gave to Dylan Brooks. That's all we're asking for. And I'm glad that, we're alive today to stand out here and demand accountability. Nobody deserves to die.
Can't be judge, jury, and executioner.
Exactly. The police are supposed to make an arrest and hold people accountable for their crimes. So if he was shooting, he should have been arrested and convicted and charged.
What you're looking at here is a cast of low-class individuals who couldn't care less and would not have cared less had that guy murdered those children in that apartment and this woman. That's what you're looking at.
Charged and convicted. It's not the police's job to execute people. We don't have the death penalty in Minnesota.
So in other words, the police should have just stood there indefinitely as this guy was holding up a gun, had already tried to kill this woman and her children. So the police were supposed to just deal with that indefinitely, right?
Again, we're not excusing anything that.
Okay, this is her still upset. Look at this. Look at this. We still have this aggressive couple. This is LGBT XYZ couple, going after this woman. They won't leave her alone. They keep going aggressively towards this woman and being pulled back. So here she's making a good point. She's saying, here you all showing up after a tragedy has occurred. But I've been going through this with this man and his mental illness, living next door to me for 2 years. Where were any of you? None of you came to check up on this man. I'm pushing it forward a little bit. I'm pushing it forward a little bit. Okay. Okay. The woman with the braids or the dreadlocks, whatever that is in her head, just asked this woman if she and the man who's now deceased had ever had issues before. She said, yes. He wrote on my car and I checked him for it. So this woman over here says, oh, yes, we all have had that annoying neighbor. So this man, bless his heart, spoke up and said he tried to kill her. So now she's saying to him, oh, I believe you. But look how she just wrote it off as an annoying neighbor. This is not just an annoying neighbor. This man shot bullets through a door and tried to murder this woman and her children. You can't make light of that. So she's back asking the question that she asked originally. If had I died, had my children died, would you all be out here? And of course, the answer is no. They couldn't care less, people. They only care about these criminals. They don't care about victims. Okay, so I want to give you all an idea of who this Teckle Sunberg is. This is Teckle Sunberg.
How you always be doing it?
TikTok.
Me personally, if a bitch came to me as a woman, I'm coming to her as a bullet.
Okay, did you hear what he just said? If a bee came to me as a woman, I'm coming to her as a bullet. Listen again. I just want you to see who this is that Black Lives Matter is protecting and is death.
I don't know how you always be doing it. Me personally, if a bitch came to me as a woman, I'm coming to her as a bullet.
I don't know how you HOES be doing that. Personally, if a bee came to me as a woman, I'm coming to her as a bullet. Okay, that gives you an idea of who this is. Here he is again.
I would not greet them. I would be hostile. very hostile. Like, who are these people? And why are they brighter than me? Take their skin. Hey, y'all should take that boat back to Europe. Go back home. I don't know what the natives were thinking when they seen Christopher Columbus. If I seen a random white man come at me out of nowhere, I would not greet them. I would be hostile.
Now keep in mind that he was adopted by white people, okay? But he's talking about how hostile he would be had he been living back in the days of Christopher Columbus. Oh God, this man was a mess. Let's see if there are any more. No, but let me say this. Black Lives Matter claims to care about Black lives. But look at this. Chicago shootings. 25 shot, 8 fatally in weekend violence across the city. Monday, that would be today. July the 18th, that would be today. 2022, that would be today. They are saying that over the weekend, a couple of days ago, because today is Monday, they mean from Friday through Sunday, 25 human beings were shot. I guarantee you all of them were Black. 8 fatally. So when that young man, well, I'm sorry, forgive me, when that young lady asked the question, had I died in that apartment with my 2 children, would you all have come out here? And when they lied and said, oh yes, we would have come out, I'm proving to you that they're lying. Because in Chicago, a couple of days ago, 25 were shot, 8 fatally in weekend violence. Did you see Black Lives Matter in Chicago? Of course you didn't, and you never will, because they couldn't care less. Listen to this. At least 8 people were killed, including a 17-year-old girl, and 18 others have been wounded in shootings across Chicago so far this weekend. The teen girl was fatally shot Sunday evening while sitting in a car in Inglewood. The girl was a passenger. Okay, let me move down. Sunday morning, a 44-year-old man was found fatally shot in Roseland. Let me keep it moving. Hours earlier, 2 men died during a shootout in Lawndale. Let me keep it moving. At least less than 12 hours earlier, a man was fatally shot less than a mile away. The man, 56, was on the sidewalk. Let me keep it moving. A woman was killed and a man wounded during a fight on a porch Saturday night. Let me keep it moving. 20 minutes later, a man was found fatally shot in an alley. Ooh. The 31-year-old man had 6 gunshot wounds. Let me keep it moving. Friday night, a 25-year-old man was fatally shot in Inglewood. I'm going to keep it moving. Less than an hour later, a 14-year-old boy was grazed by a bullet in the Woodlawn neighborhood. I'll just keep it moving, y'all. A second teen was wounded in a shooting Saturday night in Humboldt Park. 3 people were killed and at least 36 others, including an off-duty Chicago police officer, were wounded by gunfire across Chicago last weekend. My dear friends, when I tell you that Black Lives Matter did not show up, will not show up, and will never even consider showing up where they're needed, take me seriously. Stay tuned.